15 Best Cities in Canada. In a country as big and diverse as Canada, it's not easy to narrow down a list of the nation's very best destinations. With 10 provinces and 3 territories spread over 9,985,000 square kilometers, there are literally countless places to visit, each with unique attractions, beautiful landscapes, and kind people. We've carefully selected the cities on this list because each one features something spectacular that you can't find anywhere else in the country, or possibly even the world. Number 1, Toronto, Ontario. The capital of Ontario, the largest city in Canada, and the city that attracts the most visitors in the entire country, there's a lot to be said for Toronto, a bustling city of almost 3 million people, which is why it earned the top spot on this list. You can't mention Toronto without thinking of the iconic CN Tower, and many tourists take the time to visit popular destinations like Toronto Island, Casa Loma, and the Toronto Zoo as well. Number 2, Quebec City, Quebec. With horse-drawn carriages clip-clopping along the cobblestone streets of old Quebec City, it's easy to feel as though you've jumped back in time in this historic city. Overlooking the St. Lawrence River, Quebec City is a French-speaking city, though most people speak English in the popular tourist areas, that is rich in culture and history. Number 3, Vancouver, British Columbia. Vancouver is easily the most beautiful city in Canada. With mountains to the north, the Pacific Ocean to the west, and the enormous Stanley Park right downtown, the city's landscapes are jaw-droppingly gorgeous. Thanks to warm, sunny summers and mild, though often wet, winters, it's easy to enjoy spending time outdoors year-round. Number 4, Calgary, Alberta. Welcome to Canada's Wild West. Calgary, Alberta is home to the famous Calgary Stampede, a week-long festival featuring rodeo events, concerts, special activities, and exhibitions galore. More than 1 million visitors head to Cowtown every year in early July to celebrate Calgary's farming and ranching heritage, making it one of the biggest festivals in the entire country. Number 5, Ottawa, Ontario. Oh, Canada, it's hard not to feel extra patriotic when you're in the nation's capital of Ottawa. If you're a history buff, Ottawa will have you swooning in no time. A guided sightseeing tour of Parliament Building on Parliament Hill will give you a peek into the world of Canadian government, and the building itself is quite the masterpiece. Number 6, Montreal, Quebec. Since being established in 1642 as a French mission station, Montreal, or Montreal as it was back then, has risen in importance as both a world-class commercial and a cultural center. As big as it is, Montreal has, unlike many equally large cities in North America, managed to preserve not only its unique character, but also many of its oldest buildings and neighborhoods. Number 7, Victoria, British Columbia. The Canadian city of Victoria is about as close to a bit of Old England as you're ever likely to find this side of the Atlantic. Situated on Vancouver Island's south end, its mild climate is anything but typical for Canada and is far more akin to Britain, leading to its popularity not only as a vacation destination, but also a place to retire. Number 8, St. John's, Newfoundland. Arguably one of the most underrated cities on this list, St. John's is a city simply unlike any other in Canada. From the local lingo and distinct Newfoundland accent to the colorful houses and the rugged, natural beauty of the coast, visiting St. John's almost feels like visiting an entirely different country, in the best of ways. Number 9, Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. If you're planning a trip to Prince Edward Island, chances are good that you'll start things off in Charlottetown, the province's capital. Be sure to take some time to explore this small but fascinating city, home of the Canadian Confederation. For a literal taste of Charlottetown, check out the local restaurants to sample local treats. Number 10, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. There's an exciting, youthful vibe about Saskatoon, Saskatchewan's largest city, that contributed to its well-deserved spot on this list of Canada's best cities. One of Saskatoon's surprising claims to fame is that it's said to boast the highest number of restaurants per capita of any city in the country. There are many options for those who want to experience fresh flavors grown right in Saskatchewan. Number 11, Whitehorse, Yukon. With a population of just over 25,000 people, Whitehorse is certainly one of the smaller cities on this list, but it's a charming place to visit, combining the old and the new, and it serves as a great launching point for a trip exploring Canada's vast and beautiful north. Downtown Whitehorse is small but walkable and well worth a visit, but many of the best attractions are just outside of town. Number 12, Halifax, Nova Scotia. One of the best cities in the Maritimes has to be Halifax. It's known as a city that is easily accessible by foot, making it a lot of fun to wander around, exploring the different neighborhoods without setting out a formal itinerary. A good place to start out is to head to the Halifax Peninsula for a walk along the 4-kilometer boardwalk winding along the waterfront, which is bustling with activity in the summer months. Number 13, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Canada's 7th largest city, and the largest urban area in Manitoba, Winnipeg makes for a great destination for those wanting a taste of the country's heartland. As Manitoba's capital city, it serves an important commercial and cultural role, and is home to numerous institutions, architecture, attractions and things to do that should certainly rank highly on any visitor's itinerary. Number 14, Banff, Alberta. Technically, the resort town of Banff isn't quite large enough to be a city, but it's so beautiful that we didn't dare leave it off this list. Many visitors head to Canada expressly to witness the majestic Rocky Mountains up close and personal. At just an hour and a half from Calgary, Banff is easily accessible and, without a doubt, stunningly scenic. Number 15, Thunder Bay, Ontario. From its humble beginnings as a fur trading post in the early 1800s, the northern Ontario city of Thunder Bay has transformed into a delightful tourist destination that has become increasingly popular with domestic and international tourists alike. In fact, the city's first real non-native settlement, historic Fort William, can still be visited, and provides a fascinating glimpse into the lives and conditions of the time. Thanks for watching.